For 50 years, this was my symbol of strength. The perfect protein. I was wrong. The advice has been the same for generations. If you want to build muscle, you eat eggs. But what if that advice is dangerously outdated, especially for those of us over 70? New research into how our bodies process protein with age reveals a shocking truth. A humble seed protein not only matches eggs, but in the specific ways that matter for overcoming age-related decline, it outperforms them. This isn't just an opinion. In the next 60 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the undeniable science, compare the data head-to-head, and reveal the nutritional protocol that changed everything for me. It's time to unlearn what we thought we knew. Now, let's talk about the hard truth. After the age of 50, something shifts profoundly in the body's chemistry. We enter a subtle, frustrating battle against a silent enemy called sarcopenia. This is not just getting old or getting weak. Sarcopenia is the natural accelerated loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength. It robs you of your power. It steals your independence. It makes opening a jar feel like an unnecessary struggle. If you want to continue living a life defined by freedom and wisdom, understanding sarcopenia is the first and most critical step. Most people over the age of 60 are losing 1 to 2% of their muscle mass every single year. These numbers sound deceptively small, but over a decade, that is catastrophic for quality of life and balance. The traditional solution, the one you've heard 1,000 times, is simply eat more protein. That advice has fueled the egg dogma. Eggs are undeniably good. They are cheap. They are versatile. They have a fantastic amino acid profile. They have been the staple of bodybuilders and healthy eaters forever. They are a genuinely high-quality food. But here is the catch. Your body at 75 is fundamentally different than your body at 35. You can try to eat more eggs, but the muscle simply isn't growing back the way it used to. Why? Because the nutritional rules change with age. This dramatic shift is rooted in a core biological process called anabolic resistance. If you are struggling to maintain muscle despite exercising and eating protein, this phenomenon is your answer. Anabolic resistance means your muscle cells are essentially going deaf. They stop responding strongly to the growth signals they used to hear clearly. Think of it like trying to tune an old radio receiver. You need to turn the dial much further to overcome the static. You need a far more powerful, louder signal to get the sound to come through. Your muscles require a stronger trigger to initiate the growth and repair cycle. This means the standard amount of protein, even from high-quality protein like eggs, might not be enough to reach the critical threshold needed to switch on muscle protein synthesis. You need a protein source that hits harder, faster. You need a more concentrated blast of the specific amino acid that does the signaling work. If you find these evidence-based insights valuable for building a stronger, wiser life, consider subscribing. We cut through the noise and the myths to bring you practical advice for your prime time years. The single most crucial signaling molecule for muscle growth is leucine. Leucine is the key amino acid that trips the muscle-building switch, known as the mTOR pathway. This pathway is the master regulator of growth. For younger people, almost any high-quality protein source provides enough leucine to trigger a robust growth response. But for us, after 70, The body needs a higher dose of leucine, delivered quickly, to overcome that ingrained cellular resistance. Eating endless amounts of egg whites might lead to other problems, like digestion issues, or simply hit diminishing returns before you reach the required leucine threshold necessary for muscle rebuilding. We are not saying throw out the eggs right now. We are saying we need to be wiser and more strategic about our fuel source. We need to find the specific fuel that is engineered by nature to deliver a maximum targeted dose of that muscle-building trigger. This isn't about replacing all animal protein. This is about finding a specific targeted supplement strategy that fixes the problem where traditional sources fail. This strategy ensures you maximize every resistance exercise you perform. It ensures your body has the raw materials it needs to repair and grow stronger overnight. In the next section, we dive directly into the data that proves which protein source provides the highest leucine content per calorie, and why that specific metric makes all the difference when fighting back against muscle decline. Stick with us, because the numbers don't lie. The search for the ultimate, most efficient fuel begins now. This is where we move past the conventional wisdom and look at the raw data. The fight against anabolic resistance boils down to the simple numbers game of leucine concentration. You want the maximum amount of leucine without the excess calories, fats, or digestive burden that comes with eating an entire dozen eggs every day. We need surgical precision. When you look at the amino acid profiles, especially when adjusted for calories, a pattern emerges. Whole eggs, while excellent, are bound by their structure. They deliver protein alongside fats and cholesterol. Whey protein is often the benchmark, and it's very high in leucine, but it is dairy-based, often causes digestive upset, and its production often involves processes we prefer to avoid. Many plant-based proteins, like pea or rice, are often incomplete or too low in leucine to consistently meet the high threshold seniors require. But there is one specific seed protein that quietly sits at the intersection of purity, completeness, and leucine concentration. It's the protein derived from the humble pumpkin seed. Pumpkin seed protein, when isolated and dried, becomes an incredible tool. When you compare its leucine density, the amount of leucine you get per gram of powder, it often surprises even seasoned nutritionists. Why does it work so well? First, the leucine content is stellar. It meets or exceeds the anabolic trigger level in a smaller serving size than most plant or animal proteins. Second, it is highly bioavailable. This means your body can absorb and utilize the amino acids quickly, which is crucial for hitting that anabolic threshold rapidly after exercise. Third, it comes wrapped in powerful supporting nutrients, which are often overlooked. Pumpkin seeds are rich in magnesium, a mineral absolutely essential for nerve and muscle function. Magnesium deficiency is surprisingly common in older adults and can dramatically impede muscle performance and recovery. The seed protein also delivers zinc, a critical cofactor for hormone health, including natural testosterone and growth hormone production, which directly support muscle maintenance. So you're not just getting protein, you're getting a synergistic package. This is the central pillar of our protocol, replacing low-efficiency protein with high-efficiency fuel. We're maximizing the leucine-to-calorie ratio to fire up the mTOR pathway without overloading the system. This allows us to overcome anabolic resistance effectively. Let's look at a practical application of this data. Imagine your body needs about 2.5 grams of leucine in a single serving to fully activate muscle synthesis after 70. Getting that from whole eggs requires a significant portion, sometimes 4 or 5 eggs, depending on their size. That's a heavy meal, and the full digestion time slows down the leucine delivery. Getting that from pure pumpkin seed protein powder requires a far smaller, more easily digestible scoop. It's a clean shot of the muscle signal, so the first key takeaway is this: integrate a clean, pure pumpkin seed protein into your diet, specifically around your workout times. This simple swap delivers a stronger signal to your muscle cells, making your efforts in the gym exponentially more effective. But protein alone isn't enough. Next, we must discuss the other two pillars of the system, the signal and the recovery, because without the right resistance, the best protein in the world is just wasted energy. The story of strength is not just about fuel, it's about the full engine. The protein is the fuel, but the exercise is the switch itself. If you only put premium fuel in the tank, but never turn the ignition, you won't go anywhere. For muscle growth after 70, the signal must be resistance. We aren't talking about trying to set personal bests or lifting dangerously heavy weights. We are talking about smart targeted resistance that stresses the muscle just enough to require repair, which is where the pumpkin seed protein comes in. The goal is not bulk. The goal is function, stability, and maintaining the highest possible quality of life. The best resistance exercises for seniors are those that use multiple joints and mimic everyday movements. We call these compound movements. They give you the biggest bang for your effort and dramatically improve balance and coordination, reducing the risk of falls. You only need 3 foundational movements, which you can perform safely at home with minimal equipment, maybe a resistance band or a sturdy chair. The first is the *6D2 stand, or the modified squat. This movement builds powerful legs and glutes, which are your main engines for stability. Do not think of this as exercise. Think of it as training for life. Practice getting up from a chair without using your hands. Control the descent slowly, counting to 3 on the way down. That slow, controlled negative phase where the muscle lengthens under tension is where the real signaling happens. Do this movement every day. The second movement is the *mand row. *mand. We spend too much time rounded forward, looking at devices or hunched over hobbies. This tightens the chest and weakens the crucial muscles of the upper back. Attach a resistance band to a door anchor or a sturdy railing. Sit or stand tall and pull the band back toward your stomach, squeezing your shoulder blades together. This simple movement directly counters the posture of aging. It opens your chest, improves your breathing, and stabilizes your shoulders. A strong back is the foundation of confidence and balance. The third is the overhead press with light weights or resistance bands. *NOF. This is often neglected due to shoulder pain, but if done correctly, it is a key functional movement. Think about putting a heavy suitcase in an overhead compartment. You need strong shoulders and core control. Use very light dumbbells or a band. Keep your core tight, press the weight straight up, and control it slowly back down. This movement maintains the ability to manipulate objects above your head, a crucial component of independence. The wisdom here is efficiency. You don't need 2 hours at the gym. You need 20 minutes of high-quality resistance, 3 times a week. Perform these movements until you feel a comfortable burn, but stop before your form breaks down. This focused effort creates the necessary signal for growth. Now that we have the fuel and the signal, we move to the final and perhaps most overlooked pillar, the recovery. Without optimized recovery, all that premium protein and hard work simply goes to waste. The repair work only happens when you stop moving. The repair work only happens when you stop moving. Many people treat recovery as an afterthought, yet it is arguably the most essential phase of muscle growth, especially after 70. You do not build muscle during the workout. You build it while you rest, and the quality of that rest dictates the quality of your gains. Recovery is a complex process built on 2 main pillars: targeted nutrient timing and deep, restorative sleep. Let's start with timing. Because of anabolic resistance, our bodies are less efficient at utilizing protein throughout the day. This means we must be strategic about when we deliver that powerful leucine signal. The window of opportunity for synthesis in seniors is narrower. The most critical time to take your pumpkin seed protein is immediately after your resistance exercise. This is when your muscle cells are most primed to receive the growth signal. A smoothie with your high leucine seed protein immediately post-workout guarantees that you hit the required leucine threshold right when your muscles need it most. But there is a second, crucial timing window often missed: before bed. As we sleep, our bodies enter a fasting state. This fasting, combined with the normal repair processes of the night, can actually lead to muscle breakdown, catabolism, to fuel other bodily functions. Taking a small, easily digestible dose of protein right before sleep provides a slow drip of amino acids throughout the night. This acts as an anti-catabolic shield, preventing muscle loss while you rest. Think of it as guarding your gains. The other pillar of recovery is sleep itself. Sleep quality is inextricably linked to muscle growth because the vast majority of growth hormone, essential for tissue repair and maintenance, is released during deep sleep cycles. If you compromise your sleep, you are directly compromising your muscle-building efforts, regardless of how much pumpkin seed protein you consume. Prioritize deep sleep. Create a routine that shuts down the nervous system. Dim the lights an hour before bed. Avoid screens. Use breathing techniques to lower stress. Poor sleep, often exacerbated by elevated cortisol from stress, is a muscle killer. Cortisol is a catabolic hormone. It promotes breakdown. High stress equals high cortisol equals muscle loss. The wisdom of the 3-part system connects here perfectly. You use the resistance training to signal the body to grow. You use the premium pumpkin seed protein to fuel that growth, and you use optimized timing and deep sleep to lock those gains in. Each part multiplies the effect of the others. We are moving from simple eating to tactical nutrition. The next section will address how to easily incorporate this powerful seed protein into your daily routine, moving beyond just simple shakes, so it becomes a natural part of a wise, strong life. Integrating a new food source, even a high-powered one like pumpkin seed protein, should feel effortless, not like a chore. The goal is sustainability. We don't want diet fatigue. We want a simple upgrade to your existing routine. Most people immediately think of protein powder as a chalky post-workout shake. While that is effective for post-exercise timing, we can be much more creative and discreet with this superior fuel. Remember, the wisdom of aging is finding ways to make the healthy choice the easy choice. Start by looking at your current breakfast routine. If you enjoy oatmeal, chia pudding, or a morning yogurt, simply stir in a scoop of pumpkin seed protein. Unlike whey, which can sometimes get chunky or have an aggressive flavor, a quality pumpkin seed powder has a mild, earthy taste that blends beautifully. It disappears into the texture of hot cereal, fortifying your breakfast without changing the taste drastically. This ensures you start the day with a high leucine dose, providing that crucial anabolic signal early on. Another easy method is the, quote, boosted bone broth. Bone broth is already fantastic for joint health and gut healing, but it is often low on actual protein content. Stirring in half a scoop of the seed protein powder immediately boosts the leucine content, creating a powerful, soothing, warm muscle shield. This is particularly excellent for the pre-bed timing strategy we discussed. A warm mug of boosted broth before bed is both relaxing and deeply protective of your muscle mass overnight. For those who enjoy baking, the powder can be partially substituted for flour in simple recipes. Think high-protein muffins or small energy balls. These portable snacks ensure you always have a high leucine option available if you face a long stretch without a meal, helping you maintain a consistent anabolic state throughout the day. Consistency is the secret weapon against muscle loss. The key is to think of the pumpkin seed protein not as medicine, but as an invisible power-up. It's a foundational ingredient. This allows you to steadily increase your effective protein intake without relying on excessive amounts of animal products, which can sometimes bring digestive issues or inflammatory concerns for sensitive systems. Now let's address the inevitable question that follows any discussion of alternative protein: the cost. Many view specialty proteins as expensive, and they often are. However, when you calculate the cost per gram of effective leucine delivery, particularly when factoring in the supporting nutrients like magnesium and zinc, the pumpkin seed protein offers tremendous value. It's an investment in your independence. We are not paying for bulk. We are paying for concentrated efficiency. When you prioritize the right fuel, the returns are measured in years of vitality. But what about those who still fear plant proteins are inferior? Next, we break down the definitive clinical proof that puts this debate to rest for good. The debate between animal and plant protein is often steeped in tradition, not science. Historically, animal proteins like eggs and whey were deemed complete and superior. While technically true in terms of having all 9 essential amino acids, this view ignores how efficiently the human body utilizes them, especially with age. For us, the simple definition of complete is irrelevant. Efficiency is everything. The definitive clinical proof comes down to controlled studies on muscle protein synthesis rates in older adults. Researchers tested various protein sources, whey, soy, and high-quality seed proteins, on subjects over 65. The results are clear and directly challenge the long-held dogma. When dosed correctly, specific plant proteins can trigger muscle growth just as effectively, and sometimes more consistently, than animal proteins, specifically because of their concentrated leucine profiles and high digestibility. The key phrase here is dosed correctly. This brings us back to the power of concentration. A study might show that plant protein A is less effective than whey. But often, the study used a random or poorly formulated plant protein. High-quality, concentrated pumpkin seed protein bypasses this problem entirely. By focusing on isolating the protein and ensuring high bioavailability, we are essentially using the best parts of the plant and delivering them directly to the muscle cell with maximum impact. Furthermore, we must consider the overall health landscape. Building muscle is only half the battle. Reducing systemic inflammation is the other. Many older adults deal with low-grade chronic inflammation, which is itself catabolic. It breaks down muscle tissue. Animal proteins, particularly when consumed in high volume or highly processed forms, can sometimes contribute to this inflammatory load. This is where the plant-based advantage shines. Pumpkin seed protein comes with a wealth of anti-inflammatory compounds, antioxidants, and fiber. So, by making this strategic switch, you achieve a dual benefit. You boost the anabolic signal, muscle building, while simultaneously reducing the catabolic signal, muscle breakdown caused by inflammation. You are fighting sarcopenia on two powerful fronts. This move towards specific plant-based superiority is one of the wisest nutritional decisions you can make in your later years. It's a clean energy source that supports not just muscle, but also gut health, which is vital for nutrient absorption. If your gut is struggling to break down heavy animal proteins, you are not absorbing the amino acids effectively anyway. The ease of digestion offered by the seed protein ensures you actually utilize the leucine you consume. Now that we have established the fuel, the signal, and the recovery strategy, it is time to put all three pillars together into a simple, 3-day schedule. This is the tactical blueprint for taking control of your strength starting today. This is the Prime Time Protocol. The Prime Time Protocol simplifies everything we've discussed into 3 intentional days each week. This isn't about rigid adherence. It's about establishing intelligent habits that become second nature. Remember the goal: maximum return for minimum effort. Asterisk Day 1, the Power Day. Asterisk Days is your primary resistance training day. Start the morning with a breakfast fortified with the pumpkin seed protein, a bowl of oatmeal or yogurt boosted with a scoop. Perform your 20 minutes of resistance training around midday. Focus on the sit to stand and the band row movements. Immediately after your workout, consume your dedicated post-workout smoothie containing the main dose of seed protein. This hits the anabolic window with the powerful leucine trigger. The rest of the day is focused on hydration and light movement. Asterisk Day 2, the Active Recovery Day. Asterisk today focuses entirely on mobility, balance, and strategic nutrition. No heavy resistance. Focus on walking, stretching, or light yoga. Your nutritional goal is consistent, spaced-out protein delivery. Enjoy the pumpkin seed protein either stirred into soup at lunch or as a fortified bone broth before bed. This keeps the anti-catabolic shield active and prevents the muscle breakdown we discussed earlier. Active recovery accelerates repair without taxing the joints. Asterisk Day 3, the Maintenance Day. Asterisk Day is about consistency. Focus on your third key resistance movement, the light overhead press, or switch to a focused core and posture routine. Again, take your primary protein dose immediately post-activity. The rest of your protein intake should be sourced from varied, high-quality whole foods, ensuring a balanced diet that supports the gains you are locking in. This varied approach prevents the body from adapting too much to one food source. Repeat this simple 3-day cycle twice a week, giving you 6 days of intentional action and 1 day for complete rest, reflection, and mobility. Notice that we didn't plan for a huge, complicated grocery list. We planned for focused moments of superior nutrition and smart, high-impact movement. This protocol ensures you are hitting the necessary leucine threshold 3 to 4 times a week, providing a consistent signal for growth that overcomes anabolic resistance. It is a structure designed for the realities of life after 70. It's flexible, low-impact, and highly efficient. The wisdom is in the structure, not the struggle. But before we wrap up and give you the final action steps, we must address the most common obstacles that prevent seniors from sticking to any routine: objections and adaptations. What if you have digestive issues? What if you have joint pain that prevents the resistance training? The next section provides simple fixes for real-world limitations, ensuring this protocol works for everyone. Obstacles are inevitable, but they don't have to be roadblocks. Wisdom is the ability to adapt, and the Primetime Protocol is designed to be highly adaptive. Let's address the real-world limitations that might be stopping you right now. First, Dives digestive sensitivity. Dives. If you have struggled with traditional protein powders, especially whey or soy, you may be hesitant to try another. The great news is that pumpkin seed protein is generally much easier on the digestive system. It is naturally lower in inflammatory compounds and is often consumed without the dairy or soy base that causes distress. However, if you still feel sensitive, start small. Use half the suggested scoop size and gradually increase over 2 weeks. Consistency over volume is key here. Also, ensure you are drinking plenty of water throughout the day, as protein requires more hydration for proper utilization. Second, Leucine severe joint pain. Maybe you can't perform the standard sit-to-stand movement due to knee pain, or the overhead press is too painful for your shoulder. We adapt the signal, not eliminate it. For knee pain, switch from the sit-to-stand to simple, seated leg extensions using a lightweight ankle resistance. This allows you to safely isolate and strengthen the quadriceps muscle without deep knee flexion. For shoulder pain, replace the overhead press with external rotations using a very light resistance band. This strengthens the crucial rotator cuff muscles, which stabilize the shoulder joint, often alleviating the pain over time. The rule is, find the position that causes the muscle to fatigue before time the joint hurts. Third, NIMS, the taste factor. NIMS, if you truly dislike the earthy flavor of the pumpkin seed protein, mask it. We are optimizing for results, not culinary perfection. Blend the powder with strong flavors you enjoy. Berries, banana, cinnamon, or cocoa powder are powerful camouflage agents. A small touch of pure vanilla extract also works wonders. Make the post-workout ritual enjoyable, so it becomes a habit you look forward to. Fourth, NIBE sourcing the right product. NIBE, the market is flooded with supplements. Look for purity. Your pumpkin seed protein should have minimal ingredients, ideally just pumpkin seed protein. Look for organic sourcing if possible, and ensure it is cold-pressed, which preserves the delicate amino acids and nutrients. Avoid products loaded with unnecessary fillers, artificial sweeteners, or added sugar. Purity equals potency. These adaptations ensure that the powerful benefits of the protocol are accessible to everyone, regardless of physical limitations or current dietary preferences. We are building a life of strength, and that requires flexibility and intelligence. The focus shifts from what you can't do to optimizing what you can do, fueling those efforts with the best possible nutritional intelligence. This is the difference between surviving and thriving in your later years. Now that we've broken down the myths, revealed the science, and built the adaptable protocol, we must look at the bigger picture. Why are we doing all of this? We are not seeking to turn back the clock to age 25. We are seeking to perfect the wisdom of age 75. Muscle is not just about vanity or lifting heavy objects. It is the metabolic currency of independence. It governs your ability to react quickly, to maintain balance on uneven ground, and to navigate the world without constant reliance on others. Building muscle is one of the most proactive, powerful things you can do to ensure your legacy is one of vigor, not frailty. The research is clear. Healthy seniors who maintain muscle mass have better cognitive function, lower rates of chronic disease, and, most importantly, a dramatically higher quality of life. The pumpkin seed protein is simply the most potent tool we have discovered to fuel this metabolic engine efficiently. By maximizing the leucine signal and overcoming anabolic resistance, you are investing in years of freedom. Think of this video as your catalyst. You have the knowledge. You have the protocol. The greatest waste of wisdom is inaction. Do not let the knowledge you gain today simply drift away. Choose one change, just one, to implement right now. Start with the fuel. Today, research a quality pumpkin seed protein powder. Look for the purity we discussed. Tomorrow, try adding it to your morning routine. Simultaneously, choose one movement, the sit-to-stand, the band row, or the light press, and perform just 3 sets. This small commitment initiates the virtuous cycle of strength. The science is settled. The method is clear. The decision is yours. If you are ready to apply the lessons of wisdom to your physical health and build a stronger foundation for the years ahead, subscribe to Primetime Wisdom. We are here to bring you the profound, evidence-based insights that matter most. Join our community of wise achievers. Your strongest years are not behind you. They are waiting for you to fuel them correctly. Take the first step today. We have covered the times what and the times time, but let's circle back to the core concept that makes this entire approach wise: the shift in mindset. Many people, when they reach their 7th or 8th decade, unconsciously adopt a maintenance mentality. They believe that they are merely preserving what they have left, rather than actively building something new. This is perhaps the greatest mental barrier to rebuilding muscle. The truth is, your body retains the capacity for muscular growth until your final days. The science shows this, but the internal messaging often conflicts with it. This passive acceptance of decline is the invisible enemy we must defeat first. The Primetime Protocol is not just a diet plan, it is an affirmation of potential. Every time you consciously choose the higher leucine protein, every time you perform a challenging resistance movement, you are signaling to your brain that growth is still possible. This shift impacts more than just your bicep size. It changes how you engage with the world. When you feel physically stronger, you are less apprehensive about taking chances, walking on a new trail, traveling, or simply pursuing a challenging new hobby. Physical strength breeds mental resilience. It's a self-reinforcing loop of vitality. Consider the role of hydration in this new mindset. It seems simple, but proper hydration supports every single phase of the protocol. Muscle tissue is over 70% water. Dehydration instantly impairs strength, endurance, and recovery. If you are not drinking enough water, your cells cannot efficiently use the premium pumpkin seed protein you just consumed. We often confuse thirst with hunger, leading to poor nutritional choices. Carry a water bottle. Set simple reminders. Wisdom in health is never about one magic bullet. It is about the mastery of the fundamentals. The seed protein is an intelligent optimization, but it only works when the basics are handled. That includes hydration, high-quality sleep, and reducing highly processed inflammatory foods. The protocol gives you the cutting edge, but you must still tend to the foundation. Remember the three pillars: fuel, the powerful seed protein; signal, the targeted resistance movements; and recovery, sleep and timing. View these not as separate tasks, but as a holistic architecture for life. They build upon each other seamlessly. This is the difference between a temporary fix and a permanent lifestyle upgrade. In the next chapter, we will look at the long-term compounding effects of this commitment, what 6 months of this wisdom can truly yield. Understanding the long-term compounding effects is what separates temporary effort from lasting achievement. 6 months of committed focus on the Primetime Protocol creates a cascade of benefits that dramatically alters the trajectory of aging. This is where the initial efforts pay off exponentially. In the first 2 months, you will likely notice improvements in endurance and recovery time. The high-quality leucine delivery is rapidly repairing muscle damage, meaning you feel less soreness and are ready for the next resistance session sooner. Your joints may feel better, partially due to the muscle stabilization improving, and partially due to the anti-inflammatory properties of the pumpkin seed protein and the magnesium content. By the 3-month mark, the physical changes become visually apparent. Functional strength tests improve significantly. You might find everyday tasks, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, or gardening, require noticeably less effort. This is the point where the anabolic resistance has been successfully countered, and your muscle tissue is consistently maintaining or increasing density. You are no longer just maintaining, you are actively growing stronger. 6 months, however, is the pivot point. At this stage, the compounding benefits extend beyond physical capacity and integrate into metabolic health. Increased muscle mass improves insulin sensitivity, making your body more efficient at regulating blood sugar. This is a critical defense against type 2 diabetes and chronic fatigue. Furthermore, your basal metabolic rate, the number of calories your body burns at rest, increases slightly. You have built a more metabolically robust machine. This longevity of strength is the true conversion. It transforms a nutritional tactic into a life strategy. If you start this protocol today, 6 months from now, you will be measurably stronger, functionally fitter, and metabolically healthier. This long-term focus moves the goalpost from merely delaying decline to accelerating vitality. But what happens if you miss a day? Life happens. You travel. You get sick. The wise approach is not to punish yourself or quit, but to immediately return to the protocol without guilt. One bad day does not erase 6 months of positive cellular change. Consistency over perfection is the motto for sustainable aging. Your muscles remember the signal. Get back on track. Fortify your next meal with the seed protein, and perform your next set of sit-to-stands. The journey towards strength after 70 is defined by small, intelligent victories, repeated consistently. The power of the seed protein is its ability to make those small victories count more than ever before. We have now fully dissected the myth, proven the science, and provided the blueprint. The final component is a motivational challenge, a way to embed this knowledge into permanent habit. The final component is the commitment. Knowledge becomes power only when it is acted upon. We have debunked the myth of the egg as the unparalleled muscle builder, not to diminish eggs, but to elevate our standards for what constitutes optimal fuel after 70. The pumpkin seed protein stands as a superior, targeted tool for overcoming anabolic resistance and reclaiming lost strength. We've covered the 3 pillars: the fuel, the signal, and the recovery. We've given you the tactical 3-day protocol that is safe and highly efficient. Now, I want to challenge you to a simple 2-week test. Call it the Prime Time Strength Trial. For the next 14 days, implement just 2 changes from this video. First, swap out your post-resistance protein source for a high-quality pumpkin seed protein powder. Take that strategic dose immediately after you finish your resistance session. Second, commit to performing the sit-to-stand exercise 3 times a week, focusing on a slow 3-second count on the way down. These 2 small changes, the powerful fuel and the focus signal, will be enough to trigger noticeable change. You will begin to feel the efficiency of the leucine trigger at work. You will feel the positive feedback loop between intentional movement and superior nutrition. Observe the difference. Do your clothes fit differently? Do you walk up the stairs with less strain? Can you stand up from your favorite chair with greater ease? Document these small victories. They are the proof that your body is still listening and responding to intelligent input. If, after 2 weeks, you feel the positive momentum, continue the full 3-pillar protocol. If you found this detailed, evidence-based journey through nutrition and biology valuable, ensure you like this video. Your engagement signals to us that this high-value deep dive content is what you want more of. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about optimizing the years you have left to ensure they are lived with maximum capacity and joy. It's about building a physical foundation strong enough to support the wisdom you have accumulated. Be wise. Be strong. Act today.